Why do we want to buy a house? For a number of years we'd actually been renting in different apartments and basement suites throughout the lower mainland. And although, you know, there are a lot of lovely people that we've met along the way, we'd always decided that we wanted something a little bit more permanent. We wanted to have our own roots. We wanted to set up a family for ourselves. And, you know, when you're living in basement suites, it's difficult to, you know, have the friends over for a party or, you know, to do anything with your friends at all. And then of course there's the thing about kids, and you start running out of space, and where do you have the barbecue in the backyard for parties, and you know, it's difficult. You always have to be careful of the noise.
And it's the little things. It's like on a cold winter's day having to go out because there's no parking to put your car in. You have to go out, you have to go scrape the windshield, and you know, if it's raining you have to run through the rain and bring your groceries in that way. It gets to be too much, and you just want to move on, and you know you're ready, and you just start, you know, making that next move.
But then the question is where do you go from there, and how do you find a new place, or you know, how do you find a house in general? So you start looking at things like the Real Estate Weekly and going online and looking at the MLS listings, and you know, you can go to a lot of open houses and you know, try and get an idea of what you like in the house, the features that you like, but then there's always a question of, you know, how do you determine, you know, how to put down an offer, and you know, that's when you start looking for, you know, who can help you to, you know, help you find that home or that house that you want to live in. And that's always the difficulty, is trying to figure someone that you can trust, someone who knows the market, someone that knows, you know, what you're looking for and can help narrow down those selections for you.
Yeah, especially if they understand your needs and they understand what you're looking for and when you want to go after, and understanding the different stages that the market could possibly be in. You know, whether it's a hot market, and honestly I never knew what that meant till this experience, but now I actually haven't experienced it. I do now, but...
And you know, patience is a lot of the process as well. We had started probably about a year ago when the market took off on us, and you know, we've gone through things like foreclosure offers and you know, multiple offers where things just you know, started bidding up, and you know, we decided to take a step back and you know, reevaluate and come back to the market when things got sane again. I mean, you should never feel like you're forced into this. This is a major decision for you. And you need to make sure that you make the decision that's best for you and your family. So in our particular case, so we got lucky a year later. Things settled down, and we were able to find a realtor by going to different open houses, finding someone that we felt we could trust and work with, and more importantly had a good feel for what we needed to find and what we were looking for in our life.
Yeah, and basically, you know, it's not being pushed down. You can take your time, and you can say, okay, I don't like this house, and it's okay. It's not like you're forced to take the first one you see, and it's actually, it's a working partnership. It's not this completely at odds with each other's ideas, and well, I've got this on the list, I just want to sell it and just take the house.
And that is important. I mean, there's so much pressure, especially when you have multiple offers, that you think, we've got to have this house, and you start getting bid up. I mean, find something that's right for you, but make rational decisions about what's going to fit your budget. You know, because it's easier to sit there and look at numbers and start going, well, you know, 500, 550, 600, but ultimately you've got to pay for that house down the road. You've got to find the financing and all of these other you know, little details that you may not think about along the way. It
was the first time we had ventured into the market, and you know, we had tried our best, but eventually we just realized that we just couldn't do it by ourselves. We needed to get some help, and we needed to find a good realtor that could take us through the process. And so next step, we thought, fine, where would you find one? Open houses.
And that's the problem. I mean, you open up a real estate site or anything like that, there are literally hundreds of faces staring back at you, and how do you know, figure out which is the one that's going to work best for you? Who is the one that's going to be on your side and help you through this process? And it's a daunting process. It's one of the biggest investments you'll ever make in your life. So we started off by going to open houses. You know, it gave us an opportunity to interview the realtors that were actually marketing that product. And that allowed us to actually meet up with Hassenn. And it was pretty clear within the first, 5 or 10 minutes of talking to Hassenn and having him show us around the house, that he was in sync with what our needs were and what we were looking for in a house. And that was, probably a stroke of luck on our part.
This far into the process, and we've just gone over the initial excitement of the house, and now we need to get more into the technical details, and this is where Hassenn provided us with the information on the title search and the property disclosure,
and this is really where Hassenn did excel for us. I mean, he was a wealth of knowledge. I mean, like you said, you've just bought this house. You really have no idea about the process other than, you put an offer and it's been accepted. But, there are these other things you got to consider, like the property transfer tax. But, then there's the lawyers, the mortgage brokers, the insurance brokers, the house inspectors. And I remember when we said, yeah, okay, we've got to get the house inspection done, that Hassenn was able to produce a list of about 7 or 8 different inspectors, and we could go through and try and find one that would work for us. And then the nice thing is, they're very flexible. They came by on a weekend. They work around your schedule, because a lot of us are working a lot of hours nowadays. And the main thing I would say about the house inspection, though, is that do it in the daylight if you can, so that you can actually see the house. A lot of things that you see in the day, you may not see it at night, and actually physically walk through the inspection with the inspector so that he can point out all of the different facets of the house that might need improvement or might need fixing up. And a truly good house inspector, afterwards they will sit down, they will go through the report with you and give you a summary of the house and any of the things that might need working on it, so that there's really no surprises at the end of the rainbow. Because once you've found a house that you've fallen in love with, how do you know how much to offer for it? It's a numbers game. The sellers are trying to get as much money as they can get for it, and of course you want to try and pay as little as possible for that. But how do you know what to offer them?
And this is where Hassenn really excelled. And he did the research, he gave us the information that we needed on the relative market values, and together we could all just work as a team and find that property that we really wanted and we knew we could go after with the knowledge that he had given us.
And he had done an extensive evaluation of the houses in the neighborhood, what they had sold for, what this house was worth based on other sales, and it really was a great experience for us, knowing that we could count on it. And it truly is wonderful to have our own house now, a place where we can have our friends over and have a barbecue in the backyard, and I don't have to carry the groceries in and the lovely Vancouver rain showers we have all the time. And I think more than anything, I got sick and tired of scraping the ice off the car.
Yeah, and we can just come and go as we please, and it's just such a relief. It really is our own home now. It's everything I think we've been working towards, and I don't think we could have done it without Hassenn. He really is.
He really is the good guy.